Hi everyone. Hi, good evening. How are you guys? Hey, Damola. Hi, Nkechi. That looks like Nkechi. Busi Pepe. Tolu, T-Rex. How are you? Welcome. Welcome to Crystalist Conversations. Thank you everyone for joining promptly. How's everyone doing? How you guys doing? How you guys holding up? Hope everyone's well. Hey Abby, how are you? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I'm just waiting for my guest, and we'll start the conversation promptly so we can maximize the time that we have. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hey, Wendy. Hi, how are you? Toyosi, how are you doing? How are you, Toyosi? You've been on my mind, actually. I wanted to send you a message a couple of days ago because you've been on my mind. I hope you're well. Hi, Talani Adeyemo. Hi, Jenny. Just waiting for Auntie Leila to join. But anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. Given the circumstances, recent events, if you're here in Lagos or if you're in Nigeria, the last couple of weeks have been extremely intense. So I hope everyone's doing well. The last week in particular has just been something else. So and that's actually the thrust of today's show, is to just, for me, I was really thinking about how we're all coping, because this is a lot that's going on that we've all had to sort of deal with. And I just wanted us to have an expert in the house to give us some strategies on how to cope, how to take care of our mental and emotional well-being. So Auntie Leila St. Matthew Daniel, who's my guest today, I couldn't think of anybody more fitting than her to sort of talk us through this period that we're in. Hello to everyone who's joining. Let me just try to reach Auntie Leila and let her know that we are on standby for her. But yeah, guys, drop a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you are coping. Let me know what has helped you. Hi, Auntie Leila.
Hello, Kenny.
Hi, we're live.
Are you on?
Yes.
I can't see you as live. Are you on, Mommy?
No. I'm on as Kemi Blair.
I can't see you on top. Okay, let me look for you.
Okay, we're live.
Yeah. Okay, but I don't see you as live. And if you are not live, I can't get you.
I'm live. Oh, we have many people in the house.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's on your disc. I was looking at the top of my situation. I'm so sorry.
Have you seen it now?
I'll speak on 6.
Okay, bye. Sorry, everyone. I was just Auntie Leila has joined now. Hi, Auntie Leila has joined now, so I'm going to bring her on right away so that we don't waste any time. Let me add her. So I've added her. I'm just waiting for her to come on, and then we can get started. Thank you to everyone. Hi, Auntie.
Sorry, I was looking at somewhere else. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
You know, at the top on your thing, you will see live. So I'm looking for you there. and I didn't see
Okay.
you. I didn't know I had to go to your own page. So good evening,
My own page.
everybody.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. So I'll do my formal welcome now that we have, formally started the show. Welcome to Crystalist Conversations. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, my name is Kemi Oguleye, and I am the creator and host of Crystalist Conversations. Crystalist is a community, a platform and a community where we are walking together on our journey to becoming our best selves. So I always say that we're becoming our best selves daily. And I feel like one of those tools for really living that life that we were created to be is by talking more, by sharing more. Many of us do, we have our stories, we have our battle scars, but we don't speak out about it, we don't share experiences. But the more we do that, the more we're able to, first of all, heal, and the more we can encourage and liberate other people as well. So that's the mission of Crystalist Conversations in a nutshell. But as you guys all know, the last couple of weeks have been really intense. 2020 has been intense, period. But the last couple of weeks more so. If you live in Nigeria, then you know what it's been like. And for many of us, we're still trying to process what we've gone through, what we've experienced, what we've seen. I'm saying, you're sort of like the walking wounded. You see people a bit dazed, not really sure how to process all of this. And so I thought for today's episode, no better person to bring on than Auntie Leila St. Matthew Daniel to help us talk through some of this, share some strategies with us on how we can cope, how we can take care of our mental and emotional well-being. I sent Auntie Leila a message in the middle. I can't thank her enough because this was a very last-minute request. I reached out to her and she was gracious enough to say yes, to come and be part of us today. So I'm very, very thankful. Auntie Leila, welcome to Crystalist Conversations. I'm going to read your bio. I want to read your bio, just a little bit of your bio. A little bit of your bio for people who, I know a lot of people know you already because, your work and your reputation precedes you. But I just wanted to read a bit so they have more insight into your who you are. So Leila St. Matthew Daniel is an internationally recognized personal growth and transformational expert, author, writer, TEDx speaker, keynote speaker, emotions coach, and leadership trainer with a passion to help connect people to their purpose. Over the years, she has gradually carved a niche for herself in the areas of quality performance, both at work and at home. She has earned a reputation for being a transformational change agent and a voice for the voiceless. Amidst working in her field of expertise, she finds the time to be a social affairs commentator and social activist, specifically in gender issues. She has written books on entrepreneurship, personal development, and spiritual empowerment, and writes for business and personal development magazines. Her passion is to give back to society, her passion to give back to society led to her founding ACTS Generation, which is a gender-based NGO geared towards the empowerment of women and girls and advocacy in the area of domestic violence and abuse. Her mission, aside from fighting for the rights of women to be respected and given equal opportunities, is to raise women entrepreneurs who can add their quota to the growth and development of the society by being self-sufficient. That is a lot. And can I tell you guys, I didn't read all of Auntie Leila's bio. I didn't read about all the accolades that she's won. I had to keep it a bit brief. But that's Auntie Leila for you. Thank you so much for joining. I'll let you say a word before we get into the conversation.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. At about 1:30, I always check my phones because sometimes there's a desperate message. And I saw it was from Kemi and I said, oh my goodness, there goes my name. Luckily, I normally would have something on Sunday evening, but I canceled that so that I can have my Sunday evening, sitting in front of the TV with a glass of wine and some crisp and things like that. So I said, why not? I mean, it works between what I encouraging young ladies, encouraging entrepreneurs. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that you got in touch with me. So at least I'm honored about that. So thank you very much for me.
Thank you, Auntie. I really did contact her in the middle of the night about 1:30 in the morning. So thank you for sacrificing your evening to be here. You know, the topic for today's conversation is walking wounded, healing our individual and collective trauma. And that topic came about, you know, just looking at, apart from the last, like we said, the last 2 weeks, just looking at the broader context of being a Nigerian, living in Nigeria, and what that means in terms of how stressful our society can be. I was talking to somebody earlier today about how, you know, just existing in Nigeria, there's so many microaggressions that, you know, come niggle at you between dealing with my generator is not working, NEPA is taking light, this, that, all those things that happen in your subconscious that add stress to your life. So though there are all those microaggressions, then there are the bigger things like, you know, just trying to survive in a society where there's so much inequity, there's so much corruption, there's so much, you know, the kind of thing that has culminated in the EndSARS movement or that we've seen over the last couple of weeks. It's a lot to deal with, and I think, man, that's why I say walking wounded. Many of us are, we think we're coping, but we're not. You know, we're just one heartbeat away from either some sort of mental or physical breakdown. So I thought that, you know, and then with talking to people in the last couple of days, so many people are saying, I need to talk to a therapist. I don't know how to deal with all these things that I'm thinking in my mind. You know, I need to decompress. I don't know, I need coping strategies. I just don't know how to process all of this. So Auntie Leila, first of all, I've read your bio. Out, you know, we know some of your antecedents. You are an emotions and mental health therapist. What motivated you to go into this field in the first place?
Well, with my work with women, and I myself as a young lady, I had some traumatic experiences, and because in those days people did not understand what emotional issues were or mental health issues, they will always try to sort things out in the family and trying to say that is how it is, that is this, that is that. But you see, as you get older and you are in where the environment is not like before, I just found that I was internalizing my pain. And being a single child, it wasn't like as if I had the skills, because when you are more than one child, even if you are two, only two or three, you learn coping skills, you learn how to fight, you learn how to make up, you learn how to do various things. But as an only child, you are just left alone there. So if you're not careful, you're going to make the wrong decisions. You're going to hook on to the wrong kind of friends, you understand, because you want a sister or things like that. And so I went through my own emotional issues, the good, the bad, and the ugly, as I always laughingly said. But that's how a lot of lives are. There is the good, there is the bad, there is the very bad, and then there is the ugly. But so that was why I now started thinking that I had to go into a situation whereby women are very misunderstood. They misunderstand themselves, and other people misunderstand them. So I just found myself leaning towards it. You see, when you've been through certain things, you will find that God, you won't know at that point in time, but God is preparing you for what he wants you to go into. Because you see, there's book knowledge, there's experience to back the book knowledge.
Yeah.
So I just founded the NGO in 1994, 95. And I found that, you know, I was always there. I wrote in the magazines, and I used to do some free weekly talk about different things. I used to write in the soft cell City People in those days. In fact, I made a compilation a book that is coming out on all those things. So it's long
Okay.
overdue, you understand. But
Yes.
so I now found that I was leaning towards domestic violence and abuse. A lot of women, because when I was writing, I'd leave my number, and the women that were getting in touch were women who were having issues. Some, it's not physical. You see, abuse is not just physical, as some of you may know. Verbal abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse, all
Emotional
kinds of
one,
abuse that
financial.
make you happy,
Mm,
unhappy.
mm.
Once you find yourself in a situation that is unhappy with another partner, there is an abuse there, because you're being, most people don't know themselves. So that's how I started, working with women, and I went deeper into it. And my background is management, but I went deeper into it, and I then went in for my certification in coaching. Then I found that was not enough, because I found myself in trainings, attitude and behavior. So I went in and did psychology. I did EFT. That's emotional freedom techniques, which is for deep trauma. I went and did a matrix imprinting, which, in areas of very bad abuse, especially sexual, you've got to go down the line, and you have to be experienced enough to do that. And then of course, I said psychology, and then neuro-linguistic programming, which is the language of the brain. When people have been used to a certain pattern, it takes a lot to be able to change them. That is why
Right.
you are frustrated if you have, people at the workplace or at home who work for you or who you work with, and you try so hard to change them. If you don't know the language of the brain, you cannot do it, because
Right.
from the age of 0 till 7, anything that the five senses take in, that is programmed as being the way you should be. So at about 7, there's an unseen gate that shuts down and allows you to have, I just read something there, allows you to use only 10% of that's your conscious mind, and the
Right.
90% is your subconscious. So from 10 upwards, if anything comes at you, whether positive or negative, how you have learned how to interpret it is how you are going to react to it. And
Right.
if it
Right.
is negative, people keep trying to change you, and they don't know, because the brain thinks it's protecting you, whether it's bad or not. So if you
Right.
want the person to change, you have to begin to talk to the brain that, look, what is in it for me? You know that thing, WIITF, it's very crucial. What is in it for me? The brain is going, choo, 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 choo. So that's
Okay.
how I started working in that area. And I found that, I enjoy making people, from taking them from the dysfunctional to the functional to the optimal. I enjoy it,
Dysfunctional to functional to
to
optimal.
your optimal.
To your
Optimal is
optimal.
where you should be. Abundance, that we as God's children, or created by God, whether no matter what you're, but as God's children, you are meant to walk in abundance. But if you are in a dysfunctional state, you cannot walk in abundance. If you
Okay.
get to the functional, you begin to walk in abundance.
Auntie Leila, I want to stop you there, because you said if you are in a dysfunctional state, you cannot work in abundance. And it seems like the entire Nigeria is a dysfunctional state.
They're in
So,
dysfunctional state. Yeah.
eh?
When I sit down and I hear this past 2 weeks and everything, and I'm looking at them, or I'm reading things, I will know the one who is grappling with this, that, and the other. And I just say, boy, we're just a bunch of dysfunctional people. You see, we're in a
Dysfunctional.
dysfunctional parents, dysfunctional Bogwe. But you
The,
said something. People People are saying, oh, where's a therapist? I need a therapist. They're just talking, because you see, they talk and they don't do anything about it. I was talking to a psychologist and therapist this afternoon. We're talking, and she said, look, I'm just tired of our people here. They still do not understand that your emotions, your feelings, things that are coming at you, your micro, your whatever it is getting at you, you need counselors trained. You need therapists trained. You see, the church counseling is okay. Do you understand? counseling is okay, but you see, am I
You have
frozen? Can you hear?
limitations. Auntie Leila is frozen.
Able to work, you know, and they're not there. At the beginning of this month, I didn't even know they were going to do all these protests. You see, God just activated things because there's a lot of things happening, and at a certain point, something must give. And I put it there. I didn't know this was happening. Do you know that it's just a handful that, and I was doing it for free for the month of October. So she herself said that, can you imagine? She herself, I didn't know, put something, in fact, with one organization, and nobody, do you understand? Nobody took advantage of it. We talk, and then, you know, we don't do anything about it. But if it was Ashwebi or Party, they will do something about it just like that.
So we're going to come to that and see to the conversation around why we don't tend to prioritize our mental and emotional health. I'm going to come to that. But before that, I want to talk about, you know, you are a social activist. You've been at the forefront of a lot of, you know, struggles and agitations for a better Nigeria, a better environment for women, for girls, for everybody. How can we link the current events? So for many people, maybe NSAS is their first entry point into the world of activism or you know, social activism. But how can we then link this NSAS movement to this long-term work that people like you have been involved in, the long-term struggle for a better Nigeria? How is it all connected?
Well, the thing is this, that from the 60s, things have been going up and down, up and down. People have been agitating, people have been behind the scenes, people have been fighting, people have died, you understand? People have done everything to get step by step, step by step, step by step. But the spoke in the wheel is that whenever they get to a certain point and they begin to have discussions, something gives. Something gives, and then we come back and nothing has happened. So it began to make people get into a complacent, well, nothing will change, nothing will change. And it is the state of mind that those that are pulling the puppet strings wanted us all to be in. Because Nigeria is a country that is filled with intelligent people. But at a certain point, at one point, education was very important. Then those that were ruling us now came in and money became important. That is another discussion. And then education was relegated to the back because they needed people who were not intelligent to do certain things that they don't need to think about. All they need is to sell their birthright for a pack of
a bag of rice.
So the older ones there, the young ones there became adults, had children, those ones became adults, and now there are children there. So what has happened is this: from the complacent attitude that, well, let me do my own, I don't even know what to do anymore. Then come this next breed of this next generation, that is the, what do they call them now? Generation X.
Generation Y.
Generation Y.
Generation Y.
Generation X was
Millennials.
still, they tried a bit. Generation X tried a bit. But what Generation Y has is what we never did. In the first part, there was only analog. There was no way to get information anywhere or anything. Then it became digital. And then now it became, I mean, that is where the change is.
Yeah.
But number one, the new generation have a better perception of what goes on in the world. Do you understand?
Right. They're global. They're global.
Global perception of what goes on well in the world. Some have traveled and they have been to other countries, loved what is going on, and wonder why can't I? And then there was that entrepreneurship coming in of a lot of young ladies and a lot of young men that started bringing things that we never thought could happen here. You found them doing takeaway, you found them doing juices, you found them doing all sorts of things. Yes. Are these the kind of people that will continue this way? No. So it had to get to a certain point, and the thing there is, it had to build up, it built up until one day, and that's how it happens. One day, a group of people will say, let us just go out. Enough is enough. Now, when they say that, and then they go out, some other people will pick it up that felt enough is enough. And that is how the whole thing went on. And then that enough is enough, by virtue of the phone everybody is using and the internet and everything, it just went, organic all over the place. Yeah. So we're happy that, the younger ones are coming up. I know some people say, hey, it's your generation, Hey, okay, it's our generation. Don't stay in the past. Move to the now. Generation past, you are here. Take the button and then make it better for yourself and
for the next generation.
So that is a wonderful thing happening. And on my page, you people, I'm a troublemaker. Just come to my page. You put there, and I said to them, I said, they've done well. But you see, when they are talking about we don't need the elders. No, it's not for you to need the elders to come and sit on your head like the ones that is happening. Without them realizing, they will say, okay, let us go and meet the elders. They will tell us what to do. The elders will use their head and then use the money that they've stolen. They just get in there and then they leave them, they are bitter. You will use the elders in the sense that you become strategic and tactical.
Yeah, right.
And then you begin to really analyze. It is not that easy to say, Ejalo. You've done that first part. Unfortunately, things have happened, and they must find out the truth. It's not going to go down. We won't even allow it. Irony.
Yeah.
But where you people will be different is you will be tactical. You will be strategic. You will use all the SWOT and the smart analysis. Use all those brains, become creative thinkers and ask why things did not happen. Why did they give up? What did they do? What was the effect? And then begin to find out how to make a better Nigeria. That's all. Everybody wants a better Nigeria. The old people want a better Nigeria. The younger ones want a better Nigeria. So tactical, it's strategy you people will use. So don't
strategy. So it's strategy at this point. What you made some points about the fact that this generation, what sets them apart is their hyperconnectivity. The ability to connect globally. They have a global mindset, and they don't have the limitations that previous generations had in terms of sharing information and being able to coordinate each other. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you,
that is what we get, because you are doing so well in various ways. Yeah, cottage industries, everything is working around you. So you need to make sure that the youthful exuberance, which some of us went through too and made mistakes, is you will have to curtail it and be strategic and tactical. Because why? Put the vision. What do you want? You must find out what the vision is. As we say in neuro-linguistic programming, you put your goal, your vision on top, then you drill down to the bottom and then begin to put the steps in. Because once you miss one step and jump to the other, there is chaos. There is something that will happen. It will not happen. So you are going to be tactical because you have hyperconnectivity. You can get in touch with anybody. Are you not the people when they try to stop money coming in? Before I knew it, they said Bitcoin. I said Bitcoin.
Don't get Bitcoin.
Legitimate. I thought Bitcoin was not. I said these people, they won't kill us. You understand? These people with.
This generation.
goes off. Download some money more better. Ha! I want people. Oh yeah, let's go.
So they are really they seem to be the unstoppable generation. But like you said,
but they need to be practical. They need to be
tactical and strategic, and they're also very global.
A leader. I know the fear because we had that. You know, once the leaders go up, yeah, they need to understand. The young people need to know, why do you want to XYZ? Is it because you want to be seen? Is it because you want to be known? Or is it because you want a better Nigeria? Then you drill down. What are the attributes of people who want a better Nigeria? Do you have those attributes? Power corrupts. Do you have those attributes? My Kenny, I didn't even know it was going. Let me put this thing there. Let me put just a minute. Do you understand? I've now got.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yes, I had to put my charger. Do you understand? Okay. Somebody said winning is what we want. Winning what? You see, by that very word you put, I find something wrong there. Winning what? Winning what? You want to?
So we have to get very specific. We have to.
Yes.
You have to be very specific.
You can't say winning. Is it winning over the older people? We want to show them that we can do it. You understand? There is no need to try to do it. Say we want to show them. No. We want to show them should not come in, because we want to show them gets a lot of us into trouble, even with relationships, the way we dress. Do you understand? Understand? Okay. If I wear those shoes. So you see, that is all. So the way we have done it, I stopped going on the road about 6 years ago, because I don't only go on the road those days, but I would go in because I'm an activist. When we dealt with gender issues, when there was...
you were very active with Bring Back Our Girls.
Bring Back Our Girls. We started it. I called Nigerian Women Mourn, and then we started it and they ran with it. It doesn't matter. You see, you must have that attitude that you may be the one who will be the platform and somebody else will come and run with it. It's even in the Bible. Some will plant, some will do this, some will do that. That competition, which used to assail us, everybody wanted to be a leader. So you guys will have to know that what is the vision. Let the person do it. You understand? So even Bring Back Our Girls, I started it from Nigerian Women Mourn. I started even the call out. But when some people in Abuja, and then they ran with it, and then they ran with it, and then it became global. What was the vision? Make it global. It doesn't matter who takes the action.
Right.
I sit down quietly and I do. Once you have that kind of attitude, I tell you, you guys will be a winner. You need leaders. I said, if you don't want to pick one person, there are some people who have shown leadership traits. About the 12 get together and you just have like 3 or 4 who will be reps. And then they will come back. And you must be ready to listen to one another. Anyway, so that is it. Those are the things that we made mistakes about. And then I went into activism of domestic violence, fighting for women's rights and child rights and all of those kind of things, looking for trouble on the streets of Lagos. And so talking about, so now I use my pen, I use my social media to do all my activism. It's like when you guys were on the road for the few days, my daughters put me on house arrest. They knew what I was capable of doing. They say, Mommy, they were calling me, don't go out, don't go out.
Don't try it.
It's COVID is still around. They say those who are above XYZ age, don't do that. So I went, my pen and my kidney. So that is why when DJ Switch was doing her recording, and Funke, my daughter, said, switch on to DJ, they are there, they are shooting, they are shooting. I said, go. So I put it there, and then something told me. So I put one, like I'm looking at you now, we're doing this. I took my phone and I started recording the DJ Switch. Everything live. I have it. I put it out. There is no two ways about it. I was recording it like this. Da, 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 da. I knew when she said fire, they started putting fire to the left and to the right. So I put it out there. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I was recording that girl. She was doing it. No other person. I don't know whether other people, some people saw it, but they didn't record. You know, evidence. So I put it out on my Facebook page.
Okay, so the thing is this. I think one of the things I've gotten from what you've said so far is this. First of all, this thing requires all hands on deck. You know, you may not be able to go out, but you are doing your own part. Everybody needs to play their own part. Then, you know, the being strategic about it, being very specific about what your goals are, and then drilling down on how to achieve those goals.
And I told them, I wrote something quickly, Kemi, before we move on. And I said one key area they should look at are those people they are calling miscreants and hoodlums. I want to affect Badu now. They want to have a good life. Who created them? Who created them? And so I told them, I said, get to those people before the politicians get to them. They use them. They want a good life. Find out what to do about this group. They make up like 45% of everybody. 45%. That's why they could do what they did. They could be used that day. So be tactical in those areas. They need certain things. Fight for them like we were fighting for the police people. Fight for them. And then, you know, I'm sort of
carry
my
them.
page is there.
Carry them along. Engage them, carry them along.
Carry them along. And it's not just by giving them palliatives and everything. Irony, you will have to go, you know, when I said strategic, they will put paper like this, like we see in film, when they are doing strategy for tactical, you will map out the different communities. You will find out who the ballers here are and everything. They will tell you who the cocoa people are. Then you begin to work on their mind. First, don't go there and give them this, give them that. They are cunning. They will take your money and they will tell you to. You work on them. You begin to work on them. Those who are teachers.
And you build bridges. You build bridges between your, build bridges. Absolutely.
That is the first question, because those are the ones that were used to destabilize. But God knows why. God knows why. It was meant to be so that people will now look at things and see where the gaps are, which you might not want to look at, but look at it. Awolowo said in those days, he said, if you people do not bridge the gap, that very soon the children of the rich will begin to run after the children of the poor will begin to make life difficult for the supposed children of the rich. They are all going to grow up now and become adults, and then they will have problems.
And we're all going to live in this same society together.
And it's happening. It's happening.
And we're seeing it now.
Looking at you. On the road, we are buying things from that little girl or boy that is hawking. What is that child doing? So we ourselves, we need to look inwards, or else, no matter what stays, who goes onto that place later or whatever it is, our attitude will make that person fail. We are disobedient. We have corrupt mindsets. We are ready to deal with anybody. We need to work on ourselves too.
Okay, Auntie, so we've talked a lot about the movement, what the young people, because I'm actually not even in their generation. We're also among the ones, most of us on this community are also the ones, you know, supporting them from behind. We're not on the front line.
You know, youth is 45 years old, though.
Okay, so I'm just 45. So in fact, I'm 45. Okay, so in fact,
some people are just crossing you. Can you imagine? They say youth is 45. It's 35 years. 35 years.
It's 35. Oh, I'm not a youth.
I'm not a youth.
So actually, I wanted us to now come back to this topic of healing. I'm a youth. Thank you, Jare. Actually, this topic of dealing with trauma. We've talked a lot about all the things that need to be done. Sometimes
all the things we've talked about are the things that can bring about trauma.
Trauma, yes.
So
because
when you
just sit to contemplate all the things that need to be done in this country, it is enough to give you a headache. It's enough to stress you out. It's enough to increase your blood pressure. It's enough to give you depression. Apart from what it takes just to leave your house every day, get to work, make a living, and come back home. And then all the, everything else that's going on. So living in Nigeria can be very stressful. What are some of the effects that you can see, that you can tell us are the consequences of living in such a hyper stressful environment?
Well, the thing there is that there are many, many things that can happen to you. I'm not going to use heavy terminology. I always tell people, use the words that people can understand. When you find that you have insomnia, you're not able to sleep. You understand? There's the one that there's a visitation by dreams where you are awake, but when you wake up at certain times or you can't sleep at all, there's an underlying factor. When you don't eat, as you used to, or you eat too much, you will get it there. When you are stressed, some people put on weight. When some people are stressed, they lose weight. Then you are going to have, tension within you all the time. You'll have anger issues. You are easily angered. You easily get angry. Your tolerance level is very
triggered.
low.
You're easily, I say you're easily triggered. I said you're easily triggered. Everything triggers you.
All these things that will come, they're all stressors, they're all triggers. They'll trigger the state of mind that you are in. If you are not emotionally resilient, then you will react to all these things. And for every reaction, there is an action, there is a reaction internally, because there are different parts that affect, get their signs from external stressors. And once that comes, you will have all these insomnia, backache, headache, your joints are paining you. You won't even feel like doing anything sometimes because you are weighed down. You see, you carry the weight and you're weighed down. You are anxious, you are afraid, and a lot of pass-ons that you get, it's fear. You understand? When you pass things on, you don't even want, some people don't even see what they are passing on. They're just passing it on because they are afraid and they are talking about them. They become emergency analysts. They become emergency analysts. They can analyze anything based on their state of mind. Now, the state of mind that you are in is going to affect the actions that you take. You see them quarreling all over the place on Facebook. You see Christians showing absolute and total unbelief, showing judgmental behaviors, showing unforgiveness, cursing and everything. And I'm saying, that's right. Church on Sunday, everybody will begin to lift their own holy hands. You understand? So it comes out in all of those ways. So if you want to be able to understand you must know who you are, number one. Are you easily triggered from time immemorial? What triggers you? Why do you get triggered? You must find out where your triggers are and then begin to work on them. Some are sensation, they're just like sensation. They just like things. And when people begin to doctor and Photoshop things to cause issues, they are masochists. They are terrible people. They are messed up inside of them. They may not know it, but they are messed up totally and absolutely. Because it takes a messed up mind to decide to lie and Photoshop something with things that they know is going to hurt people. Just to understand?
Create chaos. Yeah.
Just to create chaos. They love it. They will love that chaos. And so those are the things. You will have palpitations. Your heart will beat easily. Your hands, you will find that sometimes you break out in sweat and your hands are wet.
Your palms are sweaty.
Sweaty. You have what we call cluster headaches. You have it here, you can 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 have it at the back. And then your shoulder, you see all your joints will because the fight and flight or flight cortisols that are released, when you encounter danger, some chemicals are released into your body to charge you up, to make you run, to make you go on. Now, if you are constantly in a state of stress, it will stay in your body, and it will affect every part of your body.
Wow.
Because what happens
Wow.
is that when, you know, when, for instance, you are going through something that is threatening to you, and you take off, or you see something and you are beating and everything, you will find that even if you are the brave one, you could move. But after the whole situation goes and they sit down, they could begin to shake. After shock, they could begin to shake. And some could even, you know, faint, because that drive, that chemical gave, the adrenaline gave you the power. Some actually freeze. You can see sometimes something is happening and people will say, run now, and the person is standing there like this. You understand? It's not because
they can't do anything. They go into a catatonic state.
Totally. It's that we call it the flight freeze. You could freeze in, or you could turn into aggression. Fight, freeze, flight. You could make it into an aggression. You find some people, when they are cornered, they will come at you. They are ready to fight at any time because they feel threatened. Now, their own ability to internalize what is threatening to them is based on their perception. You will find some people, any small thing, they are ready to quarrel. You understand? I say, oh, but what's happening? We're just talking. Why are you in that state? The person has issues, and that is the own midway point. And like somebody said, it took 5 days to break down. Yes,
it took her 5 days to break down.
I see somebody here, Jam Coconut Foods. Somebody wrote, it could take you 1 hour, 15 minutes, this, that. It could take you a week. It could take you a week, and you just break down.
Break down.
Totally. You just break down. It's 1 week away, and you break down. That is why they even talk about postpartum
post-traumatic stress disorder.
No, not that one. When a woman puts to bed, when a woman puts to bed, postpartum depression, it could take a couple of weeks, and suddenly she starts exhibiting something. I've had to deal with husbands who have called me. They don't know what is wrong with their wives, and they you know, the wife doesn't know what is wrong with her, and she thinks she's doing this, and I have to work with them and explain to them that, but she's just, the child is 3 months old now. Why is she behaving like this? I said, for everybody, there is a breakdown point. And this is what is happening. And the more you get at her, the more she will go. So that is it. Oh, yeah.
Okay, Auntie. So you've told us some triggers. Okay, quickly, if you have questions for Auntie Leila, please put them in the question box, and I'll take the questions towards the end. We're almost already at the end. Time goes very quickly. We've talked about some of these signs or these symptoms of being under stress or being in a stressful state of mind. Insomnia for many people. And the thing I find interesting is that many of us may not even realize this. You can't sleep. You know, all the joint pains or some of the
something is going on in your head.
Yes, that you are experiencing, and you may not connect it to the fact that you are stressed. You are in a permanent state of stress. So whether it is the lack of sleep, whether it's the cluster headaches, which I identify with because I get those are my own signs. That's how
I always own it, or it's not your own.
Okay, Auntie, but I experience cluster headaches, and my blood pressure shoots up. That's my own fight or flight whatever. Other people have different ones. For other people, like you said, it's different things. But when you realize that you are in this state, or that you are in this, you are stressed, coming out of a period like the last 2 weeks that has been so intense, what do you recommend that people do? 1, to process their trauma, and 2, to begin to heal from it?
Well, the first thing that needs to be done is that you must decide that what is going on, you don't like it. You don't like the way you are feeling. If you understand, sorry, my light is not, it's hot. Can't you see? The first thing, so don't worry about it. Bring the other one. My light is, the first thing is to identify that something is definitely not working okay. And then people have heard me talk now. The thing is, you must give yourself pause from the phone, from the all the news. You must
social media,
turn off your TV. It's going to be difficult, yes, but which one is more important for you? That is the most important thing. Which one is more important, your health or the news that is just repetitive, repetitive, repetitive? Do you understand? You have to pause. Maybe for, I normally say maybe for 24 hours, but maybe half a day. Do something else. Do something else, whatever you can do. Then number two, try to have breathing exercise. I teach people breathing exercise. Now, you put your hand on your on your lower stomach. You take a deep breath through your nose to a count of 4, and then you hold it to a count of 2, and then you release it slowly to a count of 6. Do you understand? You do that 2-3 times, and you can do it wherever you are. You can do it wherever you are. It doesn't have to be. So the breathing exercise is a key therapy tool that you can use anywhere. You take it, most times we breathe shallow. You breathe right down. When your lower stomach now fills up, you hold it, because the oxygen is what you are getting into the whole of your body. Then try to do some form of exercise. If you cannot exercise, you can walk up and down. You can just do some simple one. In my place, I just walk up and down. You understand? Just walk up and down, and then play music. Not big go music. Look for the nice, calming, if you are calming, worship songs, praise songs. Play music. If you don't just want instrumentals, play it, because the instruments, the different instruments that they use for music actually has effect on the brain cells. It actually does. That's why when you listen to calm music or whatever music it is, you find yourself calming down. You will just find yourself calming down. And try to find humor in everything. You understand? Try. If you find that you cannot find humor in things, then you need therapy.
Aha!
This is dysfunctional in you. If you always see negative things, what is it that has made your vision become translucent? You cannot see very, it's not clear anymore. So you are not seeing very well, and you are saying TikTok has its own plus and minus. But TikTok,
TikTok is good therapy for you. Sometimes you just need something that is mindless.
Yes,
that
TikTok
just
is good. Just make sure that it's not the one that's going to make you worried. But keep your eyes away. Your 5 senses. Take control of your 5 senses. Your ears, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your fingers. And if people are around you that every time is negative, 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 keep away from toxic people. Do you understand? Just shift away. I do it even till now. There are some mature people who are not emotionally resilient. I know how to deal with them. I just dodge the bullets. You understand? Because I love myself. You understand? I love myself. And then try to have some nice, if you can, some nice oils. Like for me, I have lavender oil in a bottle.
Somebody said lavender oil.
Okay, that I just put on my pillow before I sleep. You understand? And I don't know about art. There's art for stress. Somebody just
somebody said art therapy.
Art therapy.
So, Auntie,
and there are many other things that you can use.
I only have about 5 minutes left. I wanted us to move. You've talked about these are self-help coping strategies that you've shared.
But
things
if
that
you cannot cope
at home. So at what point do you know that, okay, it's time for me to seek out the services of a professional therapist or counselor?
When you use all of this, because you said it's about a few minutes, when you use all of it and you still cannot find any result, that means you cannot handle it on your own. So you need to seek counseling and therapy. because, you know, the two are a little bit different. The one is deeper than the other, and seek counseling and therapy. Many people have gone down the drain because they don't seek counseling. They put as important other things, material things, and don't want to pay for counseling and therapy. It costs you, like going to the doctor. As I said, the church can do its own. I'm a sold out Christian. The church can do its own. So it's not as if I'm a deep core Christian. The church can do its own, but you need specialists in some certain things. Do you understand? That's why God created different kinds of human beings. And then, you know, I have online courses. So try to go to my page. You will find healing from trauma, healing from self-abuse, becoming the authentic you, when to walk away, and all of those things. You need to read. You need to do some little courses. You need to attend things like this, like Kemi is doing now. You need to be part of a group that is building up, not tearing down, not trying to show off and everything. So the people that you surround yourself with is key and very, very important.
Absolutely. Thank you, Auntie. So I know I have a couple of questions for you, which I'll come to. But first, because again, time is fast spent, I just wanted you to use 1 minute to give us a word of hope or healing, encouragement to us as Nigerians, to Nigeria as it is. And then secondly, resources that people can use. Some of the things you've mentioned, how can people reach you? How can they get more information about the work that you do?
Okay, encouragement. There is nothing that is good that does not have something, a learning path, you understand? When you look at other countries that we go to, I tell people, I say, if you read, go read history. America was terrible. You understand? Nazism, all the kind of, do you understand? It was the people who were pushing through. In Europe, it was like that. There is nothing. One constant is that change will always be there. The thing there is to always look positive. It will seem dark. Like, I know that before we get to the light, we are going to go through some dark situation, and we've been going through no light, no this, no that. We'll go through some more until we come out into the open. Never give up. Never is not in my dictionary, and it must not be in your dictionary. Never say it's not possible, because everything is possible. You can do all of that. Now, if you want to get in touch with me, I'm on Instagram, Lila St. Matthew Daniel. I'm on Facebook, Lila St. Matthew Daniel 1 and 2. I'm on LinkedIn, but on Instagram, I even put out some mental health situation that every day I give something. I have my phone number, 0806 788 7120. That is my number that people can get in touch with me. And let me tell you one thing. You must be ready. You see, there is free, but there is payment too, just like going to the doctors, you understand? Yeah. But don't be afraid. When there is something happening, I always let people talk to me first. I always talk, and then I will decide what to do. So it's there.
So just over 1 minute left. Please, you know, reach out to Auntie Leila. The bottom line is, in everything that we're going through, as Auntie Leila has said, prioritize your mental well-being. Thank you for everyone that's joined. Prioritize your well-being. Prioritize your mental health. Invest in yourself. Invest in your well-being. When you have to pay for the counseling and therapy, pay for it, because you need to be well to fight, to stay alive, to fight another day. We need to be hopeful. We need to be positive. It will get better. We just have to keep pushing, and we shouldn't give up. Thank you, Auntie Leila, for spending this time with us. I really appreciate you coming on. You can reach Auntie Leila St. Matthew Daniel on Facebook, on Instagram. She's shared her phone number. Somebody has put it there. We'll be back next week. Yes, okay. Auntie Bola Onobolu has put the correct number there. Please, or reach out to me. I can put you in touch with Auntie Leila. Thank you so much to everyone that's joined. We'll be back next Sunday at 7 p.m. with another episode of Crystalist Conversations. Follow me on Kemi Ogula if you're not already doing so, and have a fantastic week. Stay well. Keep your mind well, and you know, just stay well. Stay well, everyone.
Love yourself.
Love yourself. All right. Good night.